Welcome to episode 52 of the Left Behind Game Club. On this week's episode, we play through Hitman Holiday Hoarders. If you'd like to hear our thoughts on the first season of Hitman, you can go to leftbehindgameclub.com or listen on your favorite podcast app of choice on episodes 37 through 43. On this week's episode, Jake explains why it takes us a little bit longer than we'd like to record sometimes.
Adult-sized man, child-sized bladder. Go on.
You're listening to the Left Behind Game Club.
Welcome to the Left Behind Game Club, our never-ending attempt to make sure that no game is left behind. I'm your host, Jake McCourt, and today I have three friends with me. We'll start with the friends you know. The first friend, his name is Michael Ruffolo.
Hello, I'm excited to talk about another great episode of a great game.
We're here to talk about a ho-ho holiday edition of one of the games we played earlier this year. And the second person to talk about that game is Murtadi.
Oh, I'm excited. Assassin plus Christmas, let's go.
And the third is a voice that you may recognize. He joined us on an earlier episode of the show. We played Ratchet & Clank Going Commando. He joined us on this one. Second time on the show, it's Mr. Thomas Riess.
Ho, ho, ho.
Thomas, before we get started, you run a site called Charge Shot. Did you just want to talk about what you guys do a little bit before we get started on this Hitman holiday edition of the podcast?
Yeah, sure. So Charge Shot is a website that I run with three other friends, kind of similar to what you do, but we do weekly podcasts where we have a news show and then we have the games that we've been playing show and just like stuff that we just want to catch up in each other's lives and the movies we've watched and stuff like that. And then on the other side, we also have like movie watch-alongs. So like this week is going to be Rocky. So we're going to go through all the Rocky movies. And
tell me, what's the most surprising thing about rewatching the Rocky movies?
It's basically like, I think Dragon Ball Z like aped Rocky.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm in. Sold. I've barely seen any Rockies, but you said Dragon Ball Z. I'm in.
Yeah, we talk a lot about wrestling and anime on the Rocky watch-alongs.
So if you like anime or wrestling, you can find that at it's chargeshot.com, correct?
Yep.
Wonderful. Again, thanks again for joining us. We are very happy to have you back to talk about Hitman Holiday Hoarders. Gentlemen, what the hell is this thing?
So I'm going to hop in here. Hitman Holiday Hoarders is a very special DLC-ish release from IO Interactive, and it seems like every Christmas since this game, or every December period since this game is released, they've been dropping in extra bits of content. They will be releasing another this year in 2018-2019 to download. But Holiday Hoarders was a very specific one that was, I think, heavily inspired by a Christmas classic, Home Alone.
Yep.
Where the sticky bandits are trying to infiltrate Paris, the palace, and do what? I'm not quite sure. But in this episode, we are hired by an insurance agency to, I think, quote, take them out with extreme prejudice. And so we are tasked with making sure these two robbers don't end up, I guess, robbing the place.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your take on it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, this film is Home Alone is like my favorite Christmas movie. So to have this be a thing that we play, I'm just incredibly excited to play this game. I know you said Sticky Bandits. I'm more of a Wet Bandits kind of guy myself, but to each their own. Mo?
It completely went like 0 to 100 though. Like I'm pretty sure Home Alone was like a rated G movie for all friends and family. Yeah, those kids were like, Macaulay Culkin like raised hell pretty much for those guys, but he never really took it to like the death point where then Hitman's like, take them out any way possible, as gruesome as possible, murder them, stab them, push them off a cliff, whatever you want to do. It's like the ultimate turn around, get the revenge for something that they didn't even do to you. They did it to some random kid in New York.
One of my favorite little details about this this episode is that if you look at the two target photos, One of them's named Marv, which is a name of one of the characters in Home Alone. I don't remember whether it was Joe. No, it was Joe Pesci's other buddy in Home Alone, his partner in crime. And I think one of the details that I love about it is Marv has a habit of going into washrooms, and his photo is him with a sink overflowing, which if you remember from Home Alone, a slight spoiler, every house they robbed, they would plug the sink, turn on the taps, and leave. It would be their hallmark. So I thought that was a nice little touch, a nice little piece of the homage.
To set up pretty much the level too, you're essentially back in Paris. If you haven't played the original Hitman series, it's essentially a giant mansion compound for parties, and this time it's all dolled up Christmas style with decorations around the entire building, lights, Christmas music, a ho 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 coming out here and there, and it's essentially the same setup though. You have every single place open and free to roam, same type of security guards, same type of barriers. Did you guys notice anything else different besides that for the actual landscape?
So in this level, and it's actually tied to one of the challenges that you can achieve through the game, there's a set of special challenges specifically for the Holiday Hoarders levels. There are gifts that are spread around the whole level, and these gifts will give you special weapons. So part of my problem with this level was that I always seem to find katanas, and depending on what kind of character you are, you can't really carry katanas around. So it was really a learning moment for me. Don't carry katanas around in Paris because, they're going to kill you if you do that.
How many boxes did you open? I must have opened at least 6 or 7, and each one had a brick in it.
Same here, Mo. I was in the exact same situation. I stopped opening presents after a while because I had more than enough bricks to throw at people's heads.
You know why they give you the bricks, right? It's for one of the challenges.
What happens? What do you do?
So I think it's like Marv that you have to throw bricks at 3 times in order to get one of the special feats.
Just like in Home Alone.
Yeah.
My thought process was I kept getting bricks. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just it's going to be an achievement, like collect 100 bricks and you get an extra block of points. But then I completely forgot because I finished the mission before I got all of them.
Yeah.
So that's why I got everyone in my my path, but I didn't get a katana, Jacob. What kind of witchcraft are you doing?
I think my favorite thing is, again, I'm skipping way ahead, but I'll skip ahead. We'll come back. When you kill one of the guys, they usually have a sack full of items with them, much like Home Alone with the bricks, with the Wet Bandits. They also have a sack full of items because, they love to steal.
I never noticed the sack full of items. When I, removed them with extreme prejudice when I was doing my playthrough, one, I caught Marv, under a Christmas tree, and the other standing by a boat. So in either case, I don't think they had really gotten a chance to rob anything. But before we get into it, I think we should, stick with tradition and go in the order of our least successful Hitman to our Hitman extraordinaire, the handcrafted killer. And so, boys, did anyone have a guess who's the court jester, who's the bottom of the totem pole today?
I think because we've played this Hitman already so many times, and the birdie came and chirped to me and told me that Jacob might have played this a couple times. I want to say he has a higher up score, and we're all probably maybe floating around the same higher score because I feel like we've all become handcrafted killers.
Mo, I have a secret for you. I did really poorly on this time.
How, Sway?
Every single time?
Well, the last time I did it, I got progressively worse. So I've done this level 3 times. One time about 6 months ago. Did very well, but these last 2 times, not good. Not good. No. Michael, do you want to go through one by one and tell us who's the best Hitman?
Well, okay. You know what? We're going to start at the bottom. And, sticking with tradition, Mr. McCourt, you are the weakest link with a total score of 40,411 points. The 1-star killer himself.
That's me. Hi.
Let us in on how you played this level.
So really badly, but I decided to take this level in a different way. So we've played this with this game multiple times. So if you're curious about our past playthroughs of Hitman, you can start at episode 37 of the show. We played a series of multiple parts. You can check that out. I got better as time went on, but I guess I forgot how to play Hitman. My approach was I want to try a different drop than normal, and I also want to try and go for a specific challenge. Because I want to be able to because as you achieve more challenges, you can change your starting point from within the mission. So I started as a stylist in the makeup area of the actual level. Cool. My approach this time was that I wanted to be a true hitman and use piano wire only.
Ooh. Cool. That's pretty fun, though.
So I kind of went through the level very normally. I went upstairs, and much like you called out, Michael, I believe, I forget who it was specifically. I think it was actually Marv, who's upstairs, who goes in bathrooms, correct?
Correct.
So Marv ended up going almost immediately into a washroom by himself. And so I was using my instinct vision. I'm like, I'm going to find you. I got you. So found him, followed him in, and just like piano wire. And what I didn't realize with the piano wire is you actually drag the body along with you as you use it. And I don't know why I got a 6 satisfaction out of that, but I did. Maybe I'm still like in Bigby mode from our Wolf Among Us series that I want to be bad. But that's how I accomplished the first kill. Like, it was very fast. My playthrough time was only 13 minutes. Like, I rocked.
Whoa, that is very fast.
Yeah, my problem is that I killed pedestrians. Whoops.
How? They're not even in the way.
They got in the way of my scissors by accident. But let me get into that. So, so I've killed Marv, and now Harry's the only one left available. So Harry, at the time, if Marv is on the main floor, Harry is in the basement. And in the basement, as we remember, there's a security area, there's a change room, there's a chef's location, there's like a wine cellar, right? So as I go down there, he's just in a main area, kind of like an alcove, where there's a Christmas tree, there's some presents, there's a fire.
Okay, I have to interrupt. Is that not one of the most exquisitely decorated areas ever? Like, it looks so good and it looks so Christmassy. I just wanted to hang out there and drink a glass of wine.
I wanted like a really nice, some Baileys in my coffee, maybe some Christmas music, maybe some John Legend Christmas. Ooh, I can imagine in my head. But with that, I saw him, but in the process, I noticed that there were some other people around. So I needed to take care of them first. So I went into the change room first, and I don't know why I did this, but I had scissors with me, and I accidentally flipped to the scissors. I wanted to actually choke out one of the people. I like how Thomas is like, you wanted to choke them out. The finger quotes. So I accidentally stabbed one of them in the locker room, and like there's 3 other ones in the locker room, so they hear me stab this person. So immediately I'm like, oh no, I now have to deal with 2 other people that I have to murder. But instead of knocking them out, I just continued to use my scissors and just like murdered 3 people.
Unacceptable.
Is this what the spirit of Christmas is? Spreading
murder,
joy, spreading murder.
What was the score? Like, did we get the number and the points? I guess.
So my score was 40,411. I achieved both objectives, 20,000. I actually killed the recordings. So imagine how much worse my score would have been if I wouldn't have done that.
Oh, wow.
So you even took care of the security cameras.
Yeah, and I still managed to get 40,000. But I killed 3 pedestrians, and I got a time bonus of 13 minutes. So like my score ended up at 40,000. I just killed Harry with the piano wire as well. That's where I found a katana for the first time. And also, so one of you may talk about it, so I'll leave it there for me. But the Santa costume and the Santa that shows up, Thomas is nodding, so I'm going to leave it there. That was my playthrough. It was not good. Please save me.
I wish that I found that Santa costume. All I did was hear jingling throughout.
I was so confused at first because I'm like, what is this jingling? Am I having a stroke?
I really wish that there was an intro to this mission in the same way they do typical intro dialogues and little cutscenes, because those are one of the best ways to set up a mission. And for this one, you have to read it. And I mean, I just know Mo didn't read it. Did anyone else read it?
Yeah, I read it.
Nope.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Thomas and I are in camp of reading things. Jacob and Mo are in the camp of not reading things.
The Derek Zoolander school of kids who know read good. Yes, we're there.
Who can't read it? Yeah.
Whenever I come on the show, I want to be prepared, so I try to do a lot of everything.
Right. Thank you, Thomas, for taking this more seriously than our two co-hosts.
Oh.
But with that said, I guess let's move on to the next weakest link, and that is myself.
Oh.
No way.
I know, yeah.
You're the handcrafted killer. What happened?
So I completed this level, or at least I consider that I completed this level in two ways. The first time, I should also just mention, I got 3 stars and a total of 95,000 points.
Ooh.
Okay, it's pretty high up still.
It wasn't bad,
Yeah.
but there are definitely ways that it could have gone much smoother and better and cleaner. So I completed this level 2 times. The first time I completed it, I started at the front of the palace, and that's the default starting position. And you drop in, and it is just incredibly decorated. There are amazing Christmas trees. There's red and gold and green and snow everywhere. Everything is lit up amazing, and I was just kind of in awe. And then I see these little presents hanging around, and I start opening them, and it's brick after brick after brick. And I'm like, okay, well, I have one of my favorite items in the game. I'm going to start throwing bricks at people. And Kobe, just yelling Kobe. And so I turn on my detective vision, and I see that, okay, one of the guys is in the basement, and another guy is on the roof somewhere, and he is just sprinting. And I'm like, okay, well, the guy on the roof, he's definitely going to come down at some point, but the guy in the basement, let's go get him. I know how to get to the basement. So as I start making my way towards him, he moves up to the same level that I am. And what do you know? He decides it'd be a great idea to go to the washroom. And I'm like, I love the idea of this guy just deciding to go to a secluded place for me. So I follow him in. I choke him out. I end up having to snap his neck, because that's how I think you have to eliminate these guys. And I leave him in the washroom because there's no good place for me to drag him. There are a bunch of security guards in the hallways, and there's an open window, but if I drag him outside the open window, there's a lot more security guards.
So, Mike, you're saying that because of his small bladder, he deserved to die. Is that essentially what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Great,
yes.
Thanks.
Yep. I know it hits you a little close to home, but...
Adult-sized man, child-sized bladder. Go on.
And so I very quickly eliminate one of the two. And then I spend another 25 minutes waiting, trying to find a way to get to the top of the roof where I believe it's Harry is just running around trying to get down and into the palace. And I'm like, okay, this AI has to have glitched somehow. And I can't seem to find a way on top. So I just end up sitting in one spot just waiting until the AI corrects itself and gets back into the palace. And he runs down and into the middle of the fashion show, because it's in Paris. The fashion show is still happening. And I sneak up behind him, and I pop him with the syringe, and I walk away in the crowd, and no one notices anything.
What?
No one notices anything. It's amazing. Apparently, people get stuck with needles all the time in Paris.
Especially at a fashion show.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so I'm like, okay, I just need to get to an escape now. So as I'm making my way to the escape, I am like 2 feet away from the car, and I get body found. And one of the guards who's at the front just looks at me, pulls out a gun, and pops me in the face.
Oh, man.
Ooh. No.
And, yeah, and I kill him, but there are other guards that come and kill me. And so I didn't get a score for that. I didn't end up finishing it, but I considered that, essentially completing it. The second time I played this mission, I was like, okay, well, I've done it one way. Might as well try it a different way. So I started in the kitchen as a server, and immediately, within 10 seconds, I'm able to find Marv under the Christmas tree in that same little alcove area that you were discussing, Jacob. Sneak up behind him, take him out with the piano wire, dump him in the trunk that's right behind it, and then head on upstairs to find Harry, standing by the boats right where the helicopter is. And so I throw some coins, and he's not going anywhere. So I just walk behind him, and I take my syringe, and I pop him in the back of the head. And then I realize, oh, great, so there's boats here, and I can take that. And so I run down to the boat, and I realize, oh, man, you need a key to escape on the boats. You can't just hop on them and get away. So I come back up, and I realize, oh, there's a guard down here who's going to find the body. So I drag him off into some corner and hope that no one finds it, run over to the helicopter, and fly away. And with that, I was spotted once, and bodies were apparently found. And that's why I only got 3 out of 5, a 95,000 point total. I had a ton of fun with this. Jacob, what did you think?
What I don't understand, though, is why, and it happened in my game as well, Harry just liked to run places.
Yeah.
He was actually running around the helicopter at one point. In one of the other playthroughs I did, I just ran after him and just stuck him. And why is he running? What are you running from? You don't run from the police. You run from small children?
Why? Was your hitman a small child?
It should have been, because let me tell you, Macaulay Culkin, Kevin McAllister, that is one heck. He should be the handcrafted killer, right?
The OG hitman.
He is the OG hitman.
That's it. So I never did find the Santa suit. So I'm hoping Thomas and Mo, you can fill us in on finding Santa. But throughout the mission, no matter where I was, I heard a lot of jingling. So I expected that there was a chimney somewhere nearby that I'd be able to find a jolly old man to take his suit. But with that said, I guess we should move on to the next weakest link in the chain.
Drum roll.
Mr. Silver Medal himself. It's a special guest, Thomas.
Yep. Ooh!
With a score of 97,000 points and 3 stars, Mo retains his crown as the handcrafted killer. Thomas, let us in on your playthrough. What happened?
Okay, so the first time I booted this up, I started off as stylist just as Jacob, and I immediately did not like where I was, so I restarted the game. I went in trying to find the Santa suit, because that's the number one thing I wanted to do. And I figured Santa's going to be on the roof, because he goes through the chimneys on the roofs. So I need a place up high to start off at. And I have the crew member outfit starting location, so I started there.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah. And then I knew how to get up to the auction house area, right after that, because I've played this level so many times. It's one of my favorite levels, the Paris level. So I just ran into this room that was empty except for the auction staff. There's one auction staff member that you choke out, you take his uniform, you could toss his body in one of the boxes. Dumped my weapon, my pistol, went upstairs, and I know that the locked off location with the cicada security staff is. I figured maybe he might be in there because that's heavily guarded, and maybe Santa will hang out there. So I went up there. There's one of the entrances to that area is not as secured as the other side, so you could easily just sneak in and run along to the back. So when I did that, there's a back room where there's a bunch of Christmas trees just lying around, just standing around everywhere. So I thought maybe he's just going to hang out here. He never showed up, but there was a costume there, and that's where the vampire costume is.
What?
Ooh, what?
Yeah, so you could be there's another side set of feats. I can't remember exactly what they're called.
Master Vampire is the name of those feats.
Yeah, so there's the Master Vampire one that you could dress up as and be like the Phantom of the Opera kind of thing. So I took the vampire outfit because, why not? It's sitting right there. So I tried to check a couple of the other rooms that were in the the back where I was located, and this is where I made my mistake where I just killed 2 dudes for no reason, just because I was just like, I'm just gonna have fun. Like, I'm not gonna try and be a master killer. I'm just gonna have fun with this. So I just killed 2 dudes for no reason because he wasn't there, and then
They looked at you funny. That's the problem, right?
So I thought that maybe the jingling and the ho ho ho's was an indicator that he's getting closer. So I just followed that sound until it led me to the for Paris, the original target, the woman. She has a room, and then she also has a private bathroom. So I ran into the private bathroom, and that's where Santa was. He was just hanging out there. There was like a tree with presents like lying around, and he was just like ho ho ho, and he puts his finger. I think he puts his finger on his nose. I could just be imagining it, and he's about to disappear. He's about to disappear, right? I'm like, oh no, you know, and then I just choked him out.
So you killed Santa?
I might have actually killed Santa. That's probably another mark against me. Like, because I did kill a lot of bodies, or at least 2 or 3. But none of them were spotted. I wasn't caught on camera at all. So like that's the reason my score didn't go down so much.
Do you get points for finding Santa?
I think that's just for your experience. Like I think you actually need to kill them as Santa. So that's probably why I got that experience points. Okay, Jacob's putting his hand up.
There's a series of 5 challenges that are tied to Secret Santa, are the name of those challenges. Mm-hmm. One of them, however, is not Thomas Riess ruined Christmas for all the children of the world.
I was like, it's the Christmas level. I need to be Santa 47. Come on. So yeah, I choked him out, and then what happens is if you take out Santa, he drops a bunch of weapons. So he drops like a holiday crowbar and a holiday axe, and I really wanted to use those, but I was caught in this bathroom where there was no way to go. Yeah.
If Jacob had any of those axes or any of those weapons, they'd be flung across the Paris fashion show in no time. He wouldn't even keep them.
They were wrapped like candy canes. I like to throw candy, so like maybe I throw axe too.
One thing that I thought of to try and get these out of the bathroom and in my possession is that to throw them out the window onto the runway, and maybe like I could go down there and grab it, but I figured that would just cause a lot of panic, and I didn't want that.
You wanted everyone calm, cool, and collected while you were knocking off these robbers.
And so, anyways, I just gave myself up, because as soon as I left the area, the guards are going to be there and go, hey, you can't be here. And if you're carrying one of those weapons, it's an illegal item, so they'll automatically arrest you or shoot you. So I just left the area. They escorted me all the way outside, and then I noticed that there was 2 of them actually in the basement. So I ran down to the basement and I scared them, and they ended up, and it said target on lockdown. I'm like, okay. And they just like run away in the basement. So I pick up the sword that was just lying there because they have a bunch of stuff, and they just put it down on this like the floor to show like, hey, we got a good score, yay! And it's so weird. They like act like Sims. It's odd. So I just pick up the sword and I run after them, and I slice them up, and I take the helicopter away.
So you were Samurai Santa is what you're saying.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to beat the level? Like, by the time you saw them was probably at the end of your playthrough. How long did it take?
That's the thing. I don't remember the time.
Would you say like more than 20 minutes?
I don't know. I really don't know.
That's okay. No, because the reason why I say that is because I guess I can jump in with my playthrough now. I didn't.
Hold on. Before we do that, we should say, Mo, how many stars did you get?
I only got 4 stars.
Only 4 stars. Our handcrafted killer himself. With a total score of what, 125,000?
Wow. Yeah, pretty much. 128,671. The one thing I didn't get was I was spotted. Everything else I got, and then I finished it in 14 minutes. So same playtime as you, Jacob.
Holy smokes, that
was fast.
Yeah.
So to tell us your playthrough, Mo. What happened in yours? Where'd you start?
Yeah, I started bone stock, just right in the beginning, right in the front of the mansion itself, just like how like it originally was starting. And I was like I was planning on like seeing a bunch of new like missions and side activities and like opportunities pop up, and I didn't see them. So I was already initially like kind of down. I was like, wait, is this like, am I just doing the same thing all over again? And then, so I walked in, I started doing my whole, okay, let's get a costume, let's get some kind of like security guard outfit, some kind of thing to get me to progress to the different floors. Cause one of my guys was one floor above me. Another one I think was on the same level. So I immediately went to the hairdressing area kind of thing. And I think this is when I was spotted. I'm not sure if it counts for spotting, but I ran down like a side alleyway where there were security guys, and they're like, hey, you can't come here. Get out of here. And it popped up the alert, and it said they're looking for you kind of thing. So that's where my never spotted thing was taken away. Just me being reckless, kind of running around. So I think I take down a hairdresser's costume, and I'm like, okay, I might be able to like walk around. Maybe I can strangle him while he gets a haircut. A bunch of things going through my mind, not knowing what's going to actually happen. So I'm walking around, and then I can't remember if I got him upstairs or if he was in the same main level, but he went into, I think he was in the second level. He went into a bathroom, and I did like a double take for a good like 20 seconds. I'm like, there's no way that the main like character is just sitting in a bathroom. No one's going in there. So I look around the hallway. I see no one's really patrolling nearby anyway. So I run in, choke him out, kill him right on the spot, and then I get nervous because there's no place to dump him. Like, he's just sitting there in the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to lose more points. Let's just get out of here. Nothing I can do. I can't drag him down the hallway because there's guards out there. So let's see if I can beat this mission before anyone uses this bathroom.
You wanted to bring the guards a present. Here's this present. It's a limp dead body.
Yeah. Me, I'm just thinking about scoring. I'm like, I don't want them to ruin my score. So I left him in there.
You wanted that crown. You wanted to be that handcrafted killer.
Exactly.
You're not thinking about creating Home Alone 6 here, right?
No. He's home dead forever. 6. So that was Marv, the bathroom guy that I took down, and after that went down, I was like, that was really not that exciting. I just went into a bathroom, took down a target. No guards were alerted. Whatever. Let's try and find the next guy. And what's his name? Harry? The next guy? Not
so
Marv.
I think you killed Marv, so Harry is left.
Harry.
Yeah. Was Harry the one that was running around for you guys?
Keep going.
Okay. Was Harry the one that was running around for you guys?
Yeah, we were talking earlier. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes total sense, because to me, I would like do my little like Assassin's Creed, like looking through walls mode, and I'd see him, and I'm like, okay, he's over on the other side of the building, let's run there. And then I'd like make my way slowly, because in all previous missions, all the guards or all the targets are walking slowly in between places. And by the time I'd get there, he'd be like long gone down another corridor somewhere across the map. So, while I'm walking around, I realize, I'm going to need to get the security cameras taken down because get more points. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But I didn't do it originally in the first time I played the Paris mission because I didn't know where the security guard was. So I used my general logic from Hitman. It's usually in like a basement of some sorts or hidden away. So I ran downstairs. There was 2 like security guys standing in the security office. One of them's like, I'm going to go get food in like the cafeteria. He runs away. He leaves his friend in there. His friend is standing up, and then there's 2 other like high security officers sitting at computer desks, but they're not looking at the other guy. They're kind of just facing their computer. So I just choke out the security guard, take his uniform, dump him in a bin, and they're just still working on their computers, and I delete the security recordings then. So now I have access pretty much to the entire building, I think, because it's like the security officers that I took down, and I have their uniform. So while I was doing that, he ran outside. I don't know where exactly. He was just like roaming outside. So I ran out there.
Did he run out by the helicopter area again?
Yes, he
Why
did.
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, it made no sense to me either.
So I didn't know, because I swear I must have like circled the property almost completely, because I was looking for him. It just kept saying he was farther away. So I kept walking. And then there was fireworks going on, like nonstop fireworks. So
Yes.
In my head, I'm like, I wonder if I could just like take out a gun and just shoot him and no one will notice because it's the fireworks. But that was what's going on in my head, but I didn't have like anything to use pretty much for that. So he's standing in that little pier-ish area right in the open. I can't remember if he was on the phone or if he was just hanging out. And I did that
Just hanging out smoking.
Yeah,
right?
I think so. So I did the same thing. I did like a double take. Like, he can't just be right here. This is easy money. Like, I'm going to take him down. Nothing's going to happen. So I walk right up to him. I do the Michael Ruffolo syringe in the neck. He's dead.
Yeah, buddy.
And when that happens, I'm like, okay, every objective has been complete. I turn around, there's a helicopter, I jump in and I leave, and I'm like, what? This was not even a mission. Like,
right? It was so quick.
Yeah, I didn't. And the thing is, I think that's where I'm glad we were talking about it now, because after I played it, I don't. You guys remember me messaging you guys saying like, hey, is this worth a podcast?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even do anything. Like, I just killed a random guy in a bathroom and I killed another random guy and jumped in a helicopter with no like cool things happening. But then I learned, he usually uses the bathroom. That's one of the parts in the movies. There's the brick option, and then Thomas jumping in the Santa suit. So there's so many other things I didn't get. So best believe it, I'm probably going to play it again.
Same here. There's so many ways to hop in and find other little challenges. I think just like any other Hitman level, that, you know, it doesn't matter if we're going back to Paris. They do such a good job of dressing it up with the Christmas theme that it feels kind of new. So, yeah, I definitely know I'm going to go back and play more of that.
And Thomas, did you play this in Hitman 1 or in Hitman 2?
It's not in Hitman 2. I checked. Yeah, because I would have liked to have done that in Hitman 1.
Same here. I loaded up Hitman 2 to see if I could find it, and it wasn't there, and I was so upset.
So one thing I forgot to say was that I kind of want, like, since I knew it was a Home Alone thing and about the Wet Bandits, I wanted to kind of roleplay as the Wet Bandits killing them. So once I took out Santa, I ran the sink that was in the bathroom to make it overflow.
Nice.
And then when wasn't able to run a sink when I killed the other two that one time because they were in the basement. But whenever I did the other times, I would just run the sink that was near them.
Nice. You're very thematically on point.
Artistic.
Is there anything else we could have done that would have been on point for a Home Alone themed Hitman episode? Maybe pull out a tarantula and just leave it on the ground.
I remember that at early in the movie. I think it's Marv. Marv carries a crowbar with him.
Okay. So if you take them out, you know that they drop a whole bunch of stuff, right? They always have a crowbar on them.
That makes a lot of sense.
So
I noticed that when I took out Harry, I think it was out by the docks by the pier. He dropped a remote control for the fireworks show. Yeah. Did you guys use that at all? Was there anything that we could do with it?
Well, with me, myself, I didn't see them drop anything. I think one of the reasons why is because I finished it so quickly. So they didn't sack the entire building. Whereas that's why I was asking earlier about Thomas. When did he kill them? Because it seems like by the time he saw them, they've already stolen a lot of the auction items, a lot of the swords, weapons, and things like that. And me, 14 minutes in, Marv didn't have anything because I killed him within like 3 minutes, and the other guy, I don't think he had much, maybe just the remote for the detonator, but I turned around and jumped in the helicopter so quick and didn't see anything on the ground.
Because I start off as the crew member, so I automatically am near the remote, so I can just pick it up. Jacob, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, like, I think it's wonderful how they created challenges that fit thematically with Home Alone. So you guys keep talking about like how they were stealing items. One of the challenges is Santa's Little Helper, where you have to collect 12 items before the burglars do, and you aren't allowed to kill them until you've collected all the items.
Okay. That's so good.
The other 4, I'll just quickly go through them because you get the Santa 47 suit if you do all 5. The 5th is obviously just do the other 4. One of them is throw 3 bricks at Marv, which is wonderful. One of them is assassinate both Marv and Harry with propane explosion after they return empty-handed. And then the final one is assassinate Marv and Harry in any accident while disguised as Santa. So just perfectly on point. The only thing that could have been better is if there was an old man with a huge snow shovel and he hit one of them in the head. That would have been better.
Yeah, so what I did after I completed my mission and objective, I just wanted to replay. I wanted to actually try and get the 12 items before them, but there's no way to know what the 12 items are that you need. So I need to look into that a little bit more. But I followed them after they finished, and they were a bit in the basement. And I just hung out there, so I just waited for them to come back because I knew they were there. They drop all their items, they scream and yell, yay, and then they go outside, watch the fireworks, and drink wine. And then they go and hang out in the party where that bar is, and they just take turns peeing in the bushes that are near the garden.
No way.
And then I wrote this line that I don't know it's a whole new meaning to Wet Bandits.
Hey!
Love it.
Yeah. So, nice.
Gentlemen, any more thoughts about the Holiday Hoarders DLC for Hitman, the original Hitman?
Not really that much. Just the only thing, if you haven't played it, I recommend you look at all those challenges before you start, so you don't pull a Mo and just go kill them and leave and go like, "Where's the Christmas?" Like, what? I don't get this. What's going on? Kind of figure out what the challenges are and try to get them. They'll make it so much more fun.
Yeah, I would totally echo that. Because now that I know all of these other challenges are in there, I'm going to go back and play it. It was such a good excuse to hop back into Hitman.
Yeah, and it's 10-15 minutes, maybe more if you do all those challenges. So like, why not? It's easy to jump in.
You could easily play this game or this level 3, 4, 5 times, especially with what Thomas has shared about what they do when you just leave them to their own devices. I definitely want to check out the Wet Bandits, like not in a creepy way. Like I just want to check out what they do. Thomas, any final thoughts? Stop it.
Yeah, so I'm like with Mo, right? Like I didn't really think there was a whole lot to it, and then I just decided to like screw around the level, see what else is in there, and there's a lot more in there that meets the eye. Yeah, good. I recommend it, especially if you have the game already. Like, gets you in the holiday spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, those are our thoughts about Hitman Holiday Hoarders. Before we close the show, Michael, we have this thing, and I don't remember what it's called, but it's like this chat client, and you can put things in it. Can you just help me out?
It's called the Discord server, Jacob. And if you want to join the Discord server and talk to cool people like Thomas and a whole bunch of other really cool people who are constantly dropping in hot deals, hot news, and hot discussions around the games we're playing, go to leftbehindgame.club. There's a big fat button in the middle of the website. You click it. It'll take you right into our Discord server, and you can join the community.
If the folks want to find you on the internet, Thomas, where can they do so?
They can find me on Twitter, CSG Thomas on Twitter. And also check out charshot.com. Lots of gaming podcasts, movies. I talked about Venom this week. So that's a fun movie. Yeah, so just check us out there.
I'm sure it is.
Mo, where can they find you?
You can find me at Murtadi on most social media platforms and murtadi.com.
Jacob, where can the people find you at?
They can find me on the internet at Jacob McCourt or in the Discord. Michael, where can they find you?
You can find me at Ruffolo M on most social places online or michaelruffolo.com. And that, my friends, is one less episode left behind.